Get ready to immerse yourself in the vibrant city of Chicago with our expertly curated list of the top 10 must-do activities. From iconic landmarks to cultural treasures, these experiences capture the essence of Chicago's unique charm. Whether you're a foodie, an architecture enthusiast, or a music lover, these activities will introduce you to the rich tapestry of this bustling metropolis. Prepare to explore world-class museums, indulge in deep-dish pizza, and witness the city's striking skyline. Don't miss out on this comprehensive guide to experiencing the best of Chicago, where every corner offers a new adventure waiting to be explored. When going somewhere for the first time, it can be incredibly daunting to try to take it all in. In most cases, there is just way too much to do, and it is impossible to fit everything into the schedule that has been planned. In preparation for my trip to Chicago, a lively city located in the Midwest, I made a list of all the things I wanted to accomplish while I was there. Let's just say I had a little too much motivation and enthusiasm because it was enough for at least a 2-month stay there. To my good fortune, I had a buddy who lived in the city who went out of his way to ensure that I had a wonderful time there. 1. Enjoy a 360 degrees view of Chicago. I don't know how you spend your time when you visit a new city, but one of my favorite things to do as soon as I get there is to look for a spot with a commanding vantage point from where you can take in the panorama. Whether that means ascending a historic cathedral like the ones in Amsterdam, or a fortress like the ones in Kotor, Montenegro, this is something you should do. In this particular scenario, it entails riding an elevator all the way up to the 94th floor of the John Hancock Building, which is among the highest structures in the Chicago skyline. 360 an observation deck, known as Chicago, provides visitors with a stunning view of the city in every direction. It even comes with its very own bar, so you may sip a drink while taking in the scenery while you're there. If you are looking for something with a bit more excitement, you may try out the Tilt, which is a platform made of glass and steel. The platform slopes outward, requiring you to hunch over in order to get a downward-facing view of the Magnificent Mile 300 meters below. This may already be obvious from the name of the structure. 2. Do some shopping at Magnificent Mile. One more of the most enjoyable things to do in Chicago is to take a stroll around the most well-known shopping district in the city. The Magnificent Mile is a stretch of Michigan Avenue in Chicago that is known for its high-end retail establishments, upscale dining and lodging options, and famous architecture. The John Hancock Center, the Wrigley Building, and the Chicago Water Tower are just a few of the well-known structures that are visible from this avenue as you travel through the city. It is also the perfect area to do some shopping at one of the 3 major shopping centers, or enjoy some fun activities, such as an escape room adventure at the neighboring location of the escape game. Both of these activities can be found in close proximity to one another. 3. Have a drink at London House Rooftop Bar. How does the idea of sitting on a rooftop bar in Chicago and drinking a cocktail while watching boats sail down the Chicago River seem to you? If this sounds like the kind of thing you would enjoy doing, then you should definitely pay a visit to the rooftop bar of one of the hotels in the city that has the greatest location. The London House Chicago is a luxury hotel with 4 stars located in a structure from the 1920s that overlooks the famous Riverwalk. While enjoying a tasty drink at its tri-level rooftop bar, guests may take in breathtaking panoramas of the Chicago River, the Magnificent Mile, and even Lake Michigan. 4. Escape the city life in Millennium Park. When you visit the Windy City for the very first time, it is imperative that you take a stroll around Millennium Park. This public park is one of the most popular free attractions, mostly as a result of the well-known installation that can be found there, and is known as the Bean Cloud Gate. In addition to the oddly shaped sculpture, Millennium Park is an excellent area to get away from the hustle and bustle of the city, because to sights such as the exquisitely crafted Lurie Garden, the midst of downtown Chicago has been transformed into a marvelously verdant haven. 5. Take a stroll along Chicago Riverwalk. There are many beautiful areas in the city to take a stroll in than just Millennium Park. You are able to take a stroll alongside the lovely river that runs through the middle of the city, thanks to the famous Chicago Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is not only a typical pedestrian beachfront as it may appear to be at first look, Rather, it is much more than that. You can have lunch at one of the many restaurants that line the riverfront, or have a drink at one of the many nice outdoor bars that are located here. In addition, there is a museum that is completely devoted to the Chicago River, and you may find some really amazing outdoor art galleries while walking along the trail. 6. Explore the hip West Loop neighborhood. The location that you should visit after that is probably going to be quite different from what you had envisioned finding in the city. West Loop was once an industrial district, but it has since been transformed into a trendy area that is well known for its exciting food and nightlife scenes. As a result, it is considered to be one of the most hip neighborhoods in all of Chicago. The majority of the buildings in the West Loop neighborhood were once used as warehouses, but they are now home to some of the best restaurants in Chicago. Particularly Fulton Market has been very popular in recent years as a result of the trendy industrial atmosphere that it exudes. The number of restaurants and cafes is staggering, but if you ask me which one is the best, it would have to be Sawada Coffee. An excellent cup of coffee to satisfy your need for a daily dose of caffeine can be found at this alternative coffee shop, which is located inside a building covered in graffiti. If you don't like coffee, give their unique version of a matcha latte called Military Latte a try. You're going to absolutely adore it. 7. Spend a relaxing evening at Noyan Rooftop Bar. It is true that the London House Rooftop Bar, and more specifically, the view from the top of the building, are incredibly hard to surpass. Noyan, which is located on the rooftop of the Conrad Chicago, is yet another fantastic establishment that you shouldn't miss. Although the views from the London House rooftop may be superior, this establishment has an atmosphere that is on par with or even superior than those of the London House. You will find contemporary furnishings, an inviting fire pit, and a sizable bar area where you can place an order for practically any type of alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage. If you start to feel hungry, you shouldn't be afraid to sample some of the exquisite food that the Japanese Peruvian restaurant has to offer. 8. Ride the Ferris wheel at Navy Pier. It is now time to depart from the central section of the city and make your way in the general direction of Lake Michigan, which is the next item on the list. You'll discover the Navy Pier there, which is a pier that stretches along the lakeshore for 1 kilometer. Due to the fact that there are so many exciting outdoor activities, it is possible to while away a whole day at this pier. A musical carousel, a sensory maze experience, a botanical garden, and the Chicago Children's Museum are just a few of the attractions that are available. The Chicago Ferris wheel is located smack dab in the middle of the pier and is nearly impossible to miss. While slowly turning, this structure that is 60 meters high provides visitors with some of the most breathtaking views of the skyline. Children's tickets cost $12, and tickets for an adult to ride a single attraction cost $19. It is not a cheap kind of entertainment, but it is a lot of fun, and it is a wonderful experience to be able to look out over the lake and view the skyline of the city. 9. Wander around Oldtown and visit its most beautiful cafe. At least now that I've mentioned West Loop, you're aware that Chicago is made up of more than just tall buildings. Oldtown is one of the many wonderful neighborhoods that are located outside of the central business district that are well worth exploring, and it is certainly one of the most beautiful. Oldtown appears to have been constructed during the Victorian era, giving it the appearance of a British town that might be located somewhere in the United Kingdom. It is a well-known destination due to the charming streets, quaint shops, traditional pubs, and artisanal coffee shops that can be found there. The 3 Arts Club Cafe, which is located within Restoration Hardware, is both one of these coffee shops and also one of the greatest spots for breakfast in Chicago. Restoration Hardware is a home furnishing firm. When I walked in for the very first time, I was completely dumbfounded, since I had never previously seen a cafe that was so stunningly lovely. It had the appearance of a wedding location thanks to the crystal chandeliers that hung from the glass ceiling, the fountain that was placed in the center of the room, and the plants that were placed in each and every corner. 10. Look down at the city from Willis Tower sky deck. The next thing is not for people who are scared of heights or have a weak heart. There are many big buildings like the John Hancock Center and the Trump Tower in Chicago, but the Willis Tower is the best of all of them. When it was finished in 1973, this more than 440-meter tall tower was the tallest building in the world for almost 25 years. The Sky Deck is a viewing deck on the 103rd floor. To get there, you have to take a lift, which takes only 60 seconds to get to the top. During the climb, you can feel the pressure change, which can be a little scary.